Okay, folks, welcome back. We are back in the long dark. We are back trying our brand new challenge, Cave Dweller, which is probably just a terrible idea, but nonetheless, we will try it. I feel like Cave Dweller would be much better in the hands of someone with significantly deeper map knowledge than me, and so that's all the more reason to give this a try. So this will be our second day of trying this. This is Tuesday, Wednesday. We should have another stream. Thursday and Friday, I'm off for D&D. Saturday, we'll be back again. Sunday, we'll be back again. So that's where we're at. So this is tonight and tomorrow night, our last chance this week to get Cave Dweller off the ground. Alright, off we go. Cave Dweller. What are we on now? 1, 2, 3. I think we're on 4. Cave Dweller 4. Try again. We did like 30 attempts on roll with it before we succeeded, so. But usually we get past day 1. Okay. How bad is it? Where are we at? This already does not look good. Oh, but it is Desolation Point. Happy day. Where is this? Are we on the small island? I don't recognize this. Where is this? Desolation Point. Doesn't look familiar. Where is this starting point? I don't recognize this at all, and it's just dark. I hear the ocean over there. We go back the way we were. Walls over there. This is just too dark to navigate. Especially since I just don't recognize this spot. Where are we? We're pretty high up. I don't remember very many spots like this.
It's goddamn freezing.
If we had a little bit more sunlight, we could see what we're doing. Just can't see. Uh-oh. That feels like a drop. Where is this? Is this? Where is this? Oh, I wonder. Yeah, I know where this is. Okay. Let's go somewhere safe for the next little while then. Ugh, that made me nervous. I was like, where is this place? Okay, let's just book it over to the... other side over here. Now warm up on the inside here. Okay, we're warm. Let's wait for sunlight. There's a blizzard outside. Okay. We'll try our luck over at the Stone Chapel, I think. Stone Church. So we'll probably warm up at the other mine for a little bit. So I was like thinking, of all the places to start, DP, Desolation Point, is probably the best one for Cave Dweller, since there's lots of outdoor spaces that you can use. This is actually very doable, as long as we get matches. Now, the problem is that we need to get a flare or matches so we can have torches, otherwise we're doing a lot of dodging. This. There's a bedroll, if we can get it, somewhere in this region. Like, I would say 80-90% of the time you can get a bedroll in this region. Over the top. Look, we got saplings, if we could put them down. try again. Warm up here. Lucky we'll find extra matches somewhere. Nope, lockers are locked. Nothing here. Oh, we are not warm in here. That's sad. Hey, Psychotic Deer, we are back trying again with we're doing a crazy challenge. Really bad idea for how to start. It's Cave Dweller. We have to sleep outdoors. We can visit indoor spaces, so it's not quite Outerloper, but yeah. It's bad. Last stream we died 3 times in a row. This stream we started in Desolation Point, and it's looking a little bit better, but we still need to get matches, bedroll, all the other fun stuff. Really need to find fire of some sort. Cool. We definitely all the ingredients to make a we have all the ingredients to make ourselves a bow. We just need the hacksaw. And we need to have fire, obviously. We are cold. We need more clothing. Let's see if we can find any clothing here. No, so many strikeouts. So yeah, if we're unsuccessful, I think today, we might do something different. I might actually do a different challenge that I've been thinking about. It should be a custom run.
I'd eat snow if the hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
We need matches desperately. Come on, matches. We need someplace warmer to hang out too. Wolf down there. Let's hope there's a flare or something we can start fire with. We need water. Still early in the day. Yeah, the starter Outerloper is always the most interesting for me because it's so fraught. There's so many little things could go wrong and you don't survive. You know, later on, it's like, it's your own stupidity. But at the beginning, it's mostly a mixture between luck and stupidity, you know. Okay. Hopefully we find some water or something to drink around here. That would be useful eventually. No fire here. Yeah, usually that's the case for me. Usually I can pull it out by the end, but sometimes it just seems like Great Bear is out to get me. Oats, dog food, ketchup chips, stem. Close. Nothing.
Damn, I'm freezing. Ugh, my tongue feels like sandpaper.
Ooh. Wow. That'd be pretty awesome. Still got frostbite risk. I don't know how we're going to get out of that. Yeah, the snow matches thing is getting me though. We gotta get all the way to Hibernia, I think. We didn't pick up any flares, so we're just out of luck.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
Try the truck? I guess we could try the truck. I can't believe we struck out completely on clothes. We've got nothing clothes-wise. Yeah, that's pretty sad. I mean, it's always sad, but it's pretty sad. We found nothing at the lighthouse for clothes. We found nothing... Well, we couldn't really search the mine because we had no visibility, so no light. Yeah, no clothes at the lighthouse. That was a disappointment. Usually I get at least one piece of clothing there. But nope, not this time. Sounds like, is that the moose on the deer up there? The tap dancing moose up there. Okay. Alright. Nice torch. No matches, though. Pick up another stone. Tempting as it is to do Hibernia, I think we should just run... I mean, Riken, we should just run straight to Hibernia. Get the daylight we need to find the matches before it's too dark. Now we can stay at the Riken. Is the Riken indoors or outdoors? I guess it is indoors unless we're on the deck or in the cabin. I mean, in the, yeah. Whatever it's called. Really? No pry bars killing us. Oh, joy, matches. Oh, we can slake our thirst. We had a bedroll.
The owner's around.
Okay, we're gonna try to find the bedroll. Easy if it's here, not easy if it's not here. If it's here, we get to sleep in caves.
This will come in handy.
Okay, we can do some repairs too. Okay, we gotta make torches and gotta find that bedroll.
What have we here?
Nothing else. Nope. How much firewood do we have? Okay, we got enough.
Oh, so cold. Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Okay. No, I'll throw that one out. Okay, so far we're at 6, 7. No, it's too low. 8. 9. 10. Huzzah! We have our flare. Okay, so that was 13 or something. Okay, 25.
That guy who drank his own pee doesn't seem so crazy right now.
Full score! Look at that. Mackinac and new boots. Okay, let's see if we can find a pry bar.
Can you eat trees?
Yeah, that's it's pretty impressive. Like Joey Freshwater's runs are just super long and impressive. mean, there's that Korean guy that has like, what is it, 10,000, 13,000 days? I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
2 sewing kits. Battery. Come on, pry bar. Okay, let's see what we got here. Should have a pry bar somewhere over here. Nothing here. Okay, let's try our luck. Do we get bedroll? Bedroll hiding somewhere in this building? No bedroll up here.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Okay, score. First bit of clothing. Okay, other places. Where could you be hiding? No sign of bedroll back there. Gotta keep making water. This is weird. Almost always there's a pry bar in here, and I have
Need
not
to find
seen
something
it.
to drink.
No. Hey, dragon? Fox? Fox. Dragon named Fox. There we are. Fox, good to see you. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. We have misplaced our pry bar. Not certain where it is. This is the start of a new run, new challenge. And it looks like we're probably going to be okay. Just need a pry bar. Yeah, this is Cave Dweller, so it's kind of Outerloper Lite. We're allowed to loot interior spaces, like buildings, but we have to sleep in caves or in outdoor spaces. So we can pass time inside, we can wait out a storm, but we can't sleep. We're not allowed to sleep inside.
Oh, I'm starving.
Hey Roller, thanks for joining us, and thank you for the gift sub. Oops. Still no pry bar. Which side of the pry bar? Okay, I've not seen the pry bar anywhere. We looted these already, so we will have to get on the road soon. Are you trying to get more sleep, or did your work schedule change? Or you've just gotten older and need the rest? Okay, we did not find the bedroll here. Which means got a couple options. We need a bed to sleep in. I think we're going to have to chance it. I hate how weak we are right now, too. Let's just eat the sardines. I mean, we could go to Scruffy's cave and try to steal a bedroll out of it. Hoping that that's where it's at. Wish we knew where the pry bar's hiding this time. Like, almost always there's a pry bar somewhere. But I feel like we did not find a pry bar. Need more firewood. Let's explore. See if we can get some better clothes. We need more firewood and we need better clothes. And we need a pry bar. We got a lot of things on our ask list. We need something. Make things all better for us. Can we break this down fast enough?
Full rest suit, I'm gonna faint.
What am I doing for... Okay. Everything needs a pry bar on this one. Those bear noises. Should we loot the cave, hoping for better stuff? Pretty good. Last week I was in Los Angeles. The opera the opera libretto, so the text for the opera and the story that I wrote with my composer friend in Los Angeles, we had the opportunity to workshop. The producer, the director, the dramaturge all flew out from New York to help us with it, and we had the help of musicians and singers from USC to perform. And so we got to hear the first, basically it's the second half of the opera, and listen to it, and then make decisions about what we need to adjust and work on. So yeah, it was pretty exciting, but it was busy. It was every day. Oh, great. Now we got troubles. Too windy for fire. We can't sleep here either. Well, we have water though. Yeah, let's see if I can pull up a image or two of our what it looked like. It's a pretty cool space to be in too as well. I think we'll have to do this. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna have to put these somewhere. Yeah, I realize I don't have these saved locally, so I have to just save them off of my Facebook, put them into someplace easier to see. Yeah, was anyone else affected by the Facebook, Instagram outage earlier today? Totally freaked me out. I was like, um, after having dealt with being hacked earlier this year, I was thinking, oh no, it's happened again. But then it turned out it wasn't, so. Okay, hold on a second. We are almost ready. They're just going to show you a few images of what it was like to work there. So we were in the Ebell Theater, which is on the edge of Koreatown in Los Angeles. It's a really pretty place. Turn of the century building, as in built in the late 1800s. Okay, so let's see here. Pull this up and we will be good to go here in a second. Okay, and we can open this with this. Does that work? Okay, so let me see if I can get this set up here. Does this work? It's showing the right one. No, we're going to use a different one. We're going to use Photos app. There we go. It doesn't want to work. Guess we'll load it with the other one then. Hold on a second. So I will apologize. The first image is going to be pretty blurry. There we go. So yeah, the first image is pretty blurry. That's the courtyard. But here we go. This is on one of the days we were working there. I looked out the window. You can see sort of the whole. It's kind of a cool set of buildings that are all linked together. And so on the left-hand side, you see that row of windows. That's the part that we were working in. This space here, this is the rehearsal room that we were using called the sunroom. And so this is during the day, so it's just throughout the day we'd have some musicians drift in and sometimes the singers. It wasn't until like usually late afternoon that we'd have more people together to do a bigger rehearsal. But here you can see a little bit later in the afternoon we have more of the musicians and singers together. So I think we had 2 strings at this point, plus the chorus and the principal, the main soprano who sings the lead here. And you can see there's this guy. There's a lot of digital sound, electronic soundscaping that's going on, and so the sound engineer guy is actually a composer himself, and is extremely talented in what he does. So he's kind of another collaborator in this project. And this is later on here. You can see I'm taking the pictures, so you don't see me in these photos, but my composer is the one sitting directly in the center. And she actually she's in the process of recovering from a neck injury, so she she couldn't spend a lot of time what was it? She's actually, for the week that we were working, she was actually doing quite well. But normally, she says she has difficulty, um, like doing a lot of physical exertion or walking a lot, or basically, she's a person who spent her whole life doing like martial arts and surfing and rock climbing, and then got injured and now has to kind of rebuild, through physical therapy, everything again, which is really hard. But yeah, so that's a little bit of what it looked like there. So I think that's it. Those are the main pictures I had from the trip. I should have taken more. I didn't. So. Oh yeah, it's really, yeah. The building is historic. It's called the Ebell Theater. Let's see if I can pull up a link here for you. But like you can see, it's very photogenic. They use this place to host like awards. It's used in filming. It's like really well known. Yeah. So I was surprised at how busy it was and how exhausting it was. I thought, oh, most of my time I'm not working on the writing, I'm just listening. But it was actually pretty intense. Plus, the music is phenomenal, but it is really, really, um, it's lush. It's really like enveloping. You get pulled into the music. I mean, this is to the composer's credit. She's fantastic. But boy, is it like an experience. Yeah, it's really powerful. I am looking forward to the point where we can share some of the sound. We have recordings from the rehearsals, but it's pretty much it's partly archival and partly for the sake of the composer to get a better sense of like what she had tried and where she was going to make adjustments, based on feedback both from the musicians and from the taking in feedback also from the director and the producer and the dramaturge. um it was really cool because for many of them, for all of us really, except for the composer, well, even for the composer, it really existed primarily on the page until we had enough people to bring it together, to bring it to life. And then you could see like what seems theoretically sufficient might not always be the case, where it might feel like, oh, this actually becomes somewhat monotone or repetitive. We need to do something, or this feels like it drags out a little bit too long, and then we have to shorten it, pick up the tempo. But it's really quite the experience. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll share a little bit more of it as we have a little bit more to share. But I'm pretty excited about it. I am very much looking forward. So the current word is that we will have a 20. It's going to next rehearsal workshop is going to be fall 2025 in LA. And at that point, we will have completed the entire opera and we'll be testing it out at that point, to work out the final like kinks. And then in November of 2026, it will have an LA soft debut. And I think it's going to be either at LA Opera or it's going to be at USC. I'm not certain which. They're working out the details. We might have like a larger venue or it might be like a smaller venue. And then the official big debut is going to happen in New York in January 2027 at a big festival. That feels so far away. So far away. Okay. We still have water and we still have food. Okay. Wow. Okay. I think we have to wait another hour. Let's see if the wind dies down. Too windy still. So we had talked about whether or not this challenge should give us a 24-hour grace period, or should work off of like a ratio that we're only allowed to sleep indoors a certain amount of time, or spend a certain amount of time indoors. Like we are currently, yeah, we're already off, right? Like we're 11 hours indoors, 4 hours outdoors. We're already, yeah. Should we just give up on trying to make this work challenge-wise and just go ahead with the, you know, sleep in here for the first night until we get rested up? I'm kind of like tempted to say like first 5 days or first 3 days you get to sleep inside, or maybe the first night. Oops. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just say we get to sleep in. We're evolving this challenge as we go, so let's just do that. Let's just say we get to sleep indoors for the first night. Okay, we're sleeping indoors for the first night. We'll just do it. That's the only night we're allowed. But I think if we don't allow ourselves to sleep in for the first night, then we kind of put ourselves in a situation where our fatigue's going to just kill us. Yeah. I mean, we could stay by the fire barrel, but it wouldn't solve our problems with... Okay, so we're just going to accept that we're going to sleep the first night. And then the rest of the time, we have to be outdoors.
I could eat a horse. Let's stay in a lot, because I love
Hey,
horses.
Foxfair. We're doing a new challenge, but we're still tinkering with how it works. Basically, it is almost Outerloper. It's Outerloper Lite. We have to... Well, we can visit indoor spaces. We're supposed to sleep outside after day one. That's what we eventually decide. After, like, last stream, we tried and tried and tried to make it work, but we were always dying of exhaustion before we could even get past the 24-hour period, because we couldn't get matches and get to a place that was safe in time. So I think I just have to accept that, yeah, we just have to accept that we're going to need that first 24 hours to be able to sleep inside somewhere. But yeah, good to see you, Foxfair. Let's throw out some shout outs here for our friends. So we had Fox in here earlier. Fox has gone to bed, but
I dug up Nitra and killed a loot bug, and I
Oh god! Oh my god! That was something. By the way, thanks for that. Come here, come here, come here. No, don't shoot those. Thank you. I'm gonna go down, by the way, right behind you, Dark.
Okay.
Watch out for the nemesis. Get me up quickly. Oh god, you scared the crap out of me. Run.
Hey.
Okay. Let's see what we got out here.
How are you today?
Yeah, Fox. Foxfair. Foxfair. Different from Dragon named Fox. Two different foxes. Do have stones. Still no pry bar. Is that something on the ground? No, not useful. Okay, I think we're going to try to get some coal. Make things more livable here.
Jeez, this is cold. Too cold to think.
So I kind of broke the challenge already. I decided to give myself a 24-hour grace period and sleep indoors for the first night. Just because we lost too many runs by not being able to sleep the first 24 hours. And that was really hurting us. So, try again this time. So we're already off to it. We've made it past our first night. We have matches. We're hoping to get bedroll or something useful soon. I think we're going to have to raid Scruffy's for the bedroll. That's my guess. But before we go, we'd like to pick up our... I don't know. Try to find a pry bar, try to find a hacksaw. All sorts of useful things here, but without a bedroll, we are kind of stuck. So, do what we can. We want to cover... I think we still need to cover our head. Oh, but we do have... we now have sewing kits, so we can make head coverings soon. As soon as we found some cloth. Do we want to go to Hibernia? Or do we want to go...
It's so cold. I just want to lay down for a bit.
Or do we want to race over? I wonder if we should just race over to Coastal Highway quickly as we can. No, I think we should try to get the bedroll. We should try to get the bedroll. I don't know. I think there's probably going to be food up here. Don't know if there's much else. But yeah, we've had our one sleep indoors. The rest of the time we have to be outdoors. And we need to figure out how to do that. And I think that means we need snow shelter or bedroll as quickly as possible. Desolation Point doesn't have a lot of cloth if you don't have a knife. So, it means bedroll. And it means we gotta come up with the bedroll soon. Scruffy's our best bet right now. Oh, second can. Now we can double our water creation. Would be nice. Not gonna do it though.
I'll take it.
Oh, look at that. This is a temporary improvement. We'll do that.
God, I could eat a whore.
Maybe we'll check the... Maybe we should do a quick look at the exit cave, just in case there's a pry bar or a hacksaw in it. Double back. It's cold here, so... Yeah, when we spawned, this one was kind of a weird one. We spawned... I think we must have spawned up here. And I had no idea where we were. It was pitch black. I was like, where are we? This didn't look like Desolation Point. And we almost walked off the cliff, and then we figured out where we were, and then figured out how to get to someplace safe. Okay, we're gonna go inside here. We'll warm up for a little bit. But mainly we just need to loot.
I think I can use this.
Don't need all these wires. Oh, tools. Okay, score. Big score. Okay, we already have too much coal, I think. So let's put it somewhere for now. We'll keep like one. Let's also make more torches.
Damn. Come on, little fire. Are you
Nope.
serious?
Failed. No, don't we have books? We have books here. Practical and gunsmithing. There we go. Starting our fire with a bang.
Come on, little fire.
I'm not gonna throw away my shot, right? I'm gonna just use it to start a fire instead. Okay. Might as well do some water here right now too. Torches, torches, torches. We're good.
I'm gonna need to eat some.
Let's do more water. Okay, let's quickly grab more stuff. So... yeah, that bedroll is key. There's one pry bar.
I think I can use this. Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Going to Coastal Highway without the bedroll, unless the bedroll is in Coastal Highway, would be extremely foolish. Then its run will just end because we don't have another place to sleep. I mean, I guess it's reliant on us getting enough cloth to make a snow shelter if we can't find anything else. How are we with cloth? We have no cloth.
Getting weak.
Still need a hat. So, worst case scenario, we could tear up a couple pieces of clothing. Runs I did for a long time, Mystery Lake has that high chance for it. Yeah, you can make it all the way out there. Desolation Point generally has a high chance of getting it. It just really depends on whether or not you're prepared to go and deal with Scruffy. Which I am. I'm totally prepared now that I have enough firewood and I have... I think the only thing I would need would be accelerant, would make my job super easy, but... making certain I have enough books to start on fire would be fine. Oh, look at that. More lantern fuel. Okay, so we can use that in a pinch. We can use that. But we now have access to a pry bar. Pry bar should open a few more doors in the... well, we don't need it yet. We'll come back, deal with Hibernia. Yeah. Yeah, we need that bed. We need to get a bed somewhere. See how the weather is. Okay, we're still good. I think we're going to go over the ice. Or maybe we'll play it safe and go through the cave, the mine again. Hard to say. Weather's good right now. Knock on wood. Oops, that's not what we wanted. should have made some tea earlier. Oh well. We only recently got our second can, so... Oop. Look at that. We can pick up a free deer. Okay, that's a deer for us later. Probably been gnawing on it for a while, but still, it's something. If we could just get the hacksaw, we'd be set.
Die if I don't get some food soon.
Uh-oh. Wind's changing. Hmm. Can't put a snow shelter on the Riken. The fish tip up are a huge help. Yeah, I need to give that a try. I haven't really been taking advantage of all the new fishing stuff. We're gonna go do a quick loot here to see if we can find another piece of clothing. Usually there's at least a scarf or something.
This'll come in handy. Oh, lucky day.
Okay, I've got a little bit extra here. Okay, we're going to leave these here. In fact, we're going to leave more than that. We're going to leave, drop some of that just so that we can come back and forge. thermos here. Okay, it looks like it calmed down a little bit. Oh, the bear's coming. But if the bear's coming, then it means that we can bypass the bear. By going over top. Yep. Okay, let the bear do his own thing. We will walk around him and get to Scruffy's cave, and then we'll try our best to find the bedroll. Gotta steal the bedroll. We're gonna be really out of luck if there's no bedroll there. Oh yeah, I haven't even thought about scurvy yet.
My fingers feel numb.
Yeah, I guess that's one reason to really do more fishing, right? Okay, I gotta quickly make more torches here.
Come on, little fire.
Come on, work.
Come on, little fire. Wait, that didn't work.
Okay, we are going
Wait. I'm so cold.
this one.
Come on, little fire.
I don't think we found a lighter fluid. Two, three, four, five, 6. 7. That was terrible. 8. Okay, time to try our luck.
Oh, lucky.
Come on, work,
Come on,
work,
little
work,
fire.
work.
Come on.
Perfect.
Perfect.
There we go. Firewall has been built. Come on, bedroll. Be here. Really need the bedroll to be here. I see the bedroll.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
You want to really annoy him? We cooked the fish right next to him. Just annoy him. More fun. Oh, that's a short one too. I want to take a good one. Okay, let's go out with this one. Yeah, he's totally annoyed. He's not happy, but we're okay. Ways to tick off Scruffy. Steal the bedroll. And eat a fish in front of him. And then leave. Okay. Now, we can go to... We go sleep on the Riken. We can sleep on the deck of the Riken, or we can sleep in the sort of the wheelhouse of the Riken. No, no one here. Okay. I think this means we are officially in cave dwelling territory, friends. Oh, we could actually sleep in a cave. We could actually sleep in a quintessential cave. Look at that. And not use any resources at all. We should probably do that. We should probably go back and find our way to... Well, let's quickly loot the Riken, which we couldn't do before. Our biggest concern now is running into the bear. We don't have a bear tracker, so we just don't know where the bear is. Nice try, buddy. Try to get me through the tall grass. Oh, I think we forgot to grab the key, or was there no key? Oh, we didn't go up, right? No, we did go up. I think we should go to the cave. Or the mine. Let's see, where are we at here? Yeah, I love the improvised bedroll. I had it in my roll with it challenge run. And it definitely was worth it. Yeah, I think we're just going to make our way to...
Starting to feel numb.
Let's just make it to the mine, and then we'll just rest in the mine. We'll be officially cave dweller at that point.
The sun is setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon.
I hear wolves. Nice try, buddy.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
Okay.
I need to find a place.
Uh-oh. I'm not happy about this.
One little fire.
Ooh, that was scary. Hey, we're going inside. We're going inside. That's just the smart thing to do. Let's eat our food and drink up for the night. We're good for water. We're fine. Okay, we did it. First day. We are now officially into cave dwelling life. Okay, so... Okay, so I think we'll probably... we'll wrap up with a poem, and then we will... Yeah, we'll wrap up with a poem, and then we'll head off, raid someone. Good recovery here. Yeah, the bare bedroll is just super heavy. I mean, I almost made one on my long run, but I decided against it. I have used it before, but okay. So, we are rested. Pick this up so we don't forget it. Let's leave and re-enter for our save. We're saved on day 2. Okay, so let us, let's see here, finish up with a poem. What are we reading tonight? Survey says we're reading Planting Tulips. Okay, so this is from my first book of poetry from The Lost Country of Sight, published by Anhinga Press in 2008. Winner of the 2007 Philip Levine Prize, and this is a short little poem called Planting Tulips. Before my father dies, I should like to dig once more in the back garden behind the old home where I spent so many summers, striking a rhythm with dirt clods breaking against the shovel's blade, pressed firmly to the earth. should like to cradle each bulb in my stained hands, as if to bless it before burial, or to peer into its opaque skin, wondering at the rough beauty of unseen roots, then tamp down a small mound and pray for rain, and wait for the slow green signs of birth. So yeah, so this kind of ties back to a childhood memory of my father trying to teach me about how to plant tulips. My dad always liked planting things. He grew up in Penticton, BC, which is orchard country in the interior BC, and Saskatchewan, where we were living, is not orchard country at all. It's a pretty harsh climate, short hot summers, long cold winters, and so planting fruit trees is just not really possible. But my parents did like planting flowers, and they tried growing vegetables as well. And one particular year, my father was determined to try to grow some tulips, and then my father, being my father, was frequently he would start the physical labor, and then partway through he would just instruct me on how to finish it, and then he would take a supervisor role and watch over me. Um, but nonetheless, those are good memories, and so the poem kind of ties back into that memory of planting things and how we, put things into the earth and then hope that something comes out of it. And in the way that it echoes back to, in that moment, thinking about also death and how we bury our dead and then wait for spring and wait for something to, whether that's a metaphorical or spiritual thing, or if it's just a physical thing, that new life comes out of the death of something else. So I think that was one of the poems in the collection that initially I thought had nothing to do with the rest of the book. And after I was considering the order and structure of the manuscript, I went back over poems I'd cut out because I thought they had nothing to do with the manuscript. And I looked at it and I realized, in a weird way, it does fit into this sequence. It does speak to, in a much more subtle way, it speaks to this question about what happens to us when we pass on. And especially as a memory tied to my father, it felt pertinent to that sequence of poems that lead up to the poems dealing with my father's death and the aftermath. We lost my father when he was 59 to ALS, to Lou Gehrig's disease. And so that was a rapid 7-8 month decline. And so, so a lot of that was happening the year I was finishing this book. So I tell people, sometimes you set out thinking you're writing about one thing, but by the time you finish the manuscript, you realize you were writing about something else the whole time. And that's kind of how I felt about the book, was that I had set out writing about in-betweenness, about growing up between cultures and places, a sense of transience in my own life, and a feeling of exile, right? And a desire to return home, to return to spaces and reconstruct them. If I can't return, then I can imagine them. I can reconstruct them through language and memory. But in the end, all that ended up really being about losing people and how we try to hold on to them through writing and through art and poetry. Is there a name? There is a story of sorts, The Lost Country of Sight. So originally the book, the manuscript, when I was working on it, had a different title altogether. It was called The One Boat. And it's pretty plain and kind of generic when I look back on it. But anyways, I thought it was going to be called The One Boat. And it just kind of echoed this image of a single boat floating out in the ocean, like a rowboat or a lifeboat of some sort. But it also echoes sort of like paintings of Chinese hermits out fishing, and so that was kind of the image I had in mind. But I went to a writing retreat called Kundiman, which is Kundiman's an Asian American writing retreat, and back then it was just for poets. Now they have like separate retreats for fiction writers and nonfiction writers as well. But back then I went with a group of poets. We were all got accepted, and we were there. And my roommate, that year was this Singaporean poet by the name of Jilong Ko. And Jilong asked me, like, one day early in the retreat, he had asked me what the book was going to be called, what my manuscript that I was working on was going to be called. I said, The One Boat. And he kind of shook his head. He says, I don't know, based on what you've described about the manuscript, if that's really the title. And so that night I went to bed, and I woke up. I woke up the next morning, and it was clear as day that the title of the book was going to be called The Lost Country of Sight. And I thought about it. I was like, why is it The Lost Country of Sight? It just feels right, but why? And I think it kind of captured two things. It captured the sense of like a lot of the collection is about losing things, about things on the verge of forgetting, on the verge of disappearing, or about death. People just, you lose people as well. And so that's kind of a lost country, And it's also things like dropping off the horizon. As someone that spent a lot of my childhood in Saskatchewan, you drive these really long distances, and everything is pushed to the limits of your sight. The horizon's so big and so vast and so uninterrupted. The sky so huge. Everything's pushed to the limits of sight. And so I thought a lot about that, what drops off at the edge of sight. So yeah, thankfully it wasn't called The Cursed Canoe. That would have been terrible. But yeah, so that's kind of how it started off, The Lost Country of Sight. There's no poem in the collection by that title, which is, you'll find that a lot of people have a poem in their collection that is the title poem for their collection. And that's not the case. There's no particular poem that uses the language or phrase, The Lost Country of Sight. And yet at the same time, it feels like that idea runs through the whole collection. And that for me, I think is a testament to like choosing the right title, that it feels like a natural fit, for like the poems. They fall under that umbrella in some way, and that the title provides something that the rest of the poems either lean into or they resist in some way. So yeah, so I think that's good. The One Boat, I think, was just too neat. It was just too packaged up, and it really kind of feels like it wants to be important, but it doesn't really give a lot of room for the rest of the poems to do anything with it. So I think like it's not a bad title. It just wasn't the title for the poems in this collection. Babbage's Dream, the second book, was a little bit easier because it really is about a 19th century mathematician's literal dream that led to the building of what would have been the first computer. And the fact that he never finishes leaves it kind of in a dreamlike state. And then at the same time, his vision and Ada Lovelace's writings about the machine also are kind of visionary in terms of imagining what could be in the future. And that we are living in what effectively is Babbage's dream, that we would be in a society where, he said once built, this machine would change the world. And he was right. Once the computer existed, it radically transformed society and culture and our world as a whole. So we are living in Babbage's dream. So I think those things are all true. And then also, it is tied to, what is the aftermath of that? That, we are living also in sort of the world of AI is now also part of that aftermath of Babbage's dream. and sci-fi is part of the aftermath of Babbage's dream. So I think all those things kind of spill out of Babbage's dream. There was a chapbook that was written in between that just had the Babbage poems. And that was called Leviathan. And I called it Leviathan because I found a rather obscure note in a 19th century account of Charles Babbage attending different dinner parties and telling different stories. And one of the things that the host mentions is that Babbage loved talking about his machine, Leviathan, as he called it. When that's the only mention I ever encountered of him calling the analytical engine Leviathan. But I thought it was such a like profound and at once biblical and at once monstrous name to give a machine that you could never quite finish, that kept on growing bigger and bigger and bigger, that threatened to destroy the world or to remake it. And so like Leviathan, this huge monstrosity whale, whatever it was, that could enwrap the entire world, So I thought that was really appropriate. So that's kind of the background for that one. But you never know. Like I think I've been through so many titles for what I might call like the third book, which is still kind of languishing right now as partially constructed, and then I keep changing my mind about what I want to write about. And I keep feeling like I want to work on other things, like the opera kind of has taken up a lot of time. And there's a series of essays. I want to do a book of essays, I think, next, before I get back to poetry. So, yeah, we now call it Skynet. Yeah. So the next book is not called Skynet. The next book, I think, has something to do with stars. And that's the funny thing. Is like I thought I was running away from my third book of poetry. And I started working on opera. And then the opera that I'm working on right now is called Star Singer. And has to do with basically a young girl who inherits a responsibility in this kind of fantastic fairy tale world. She inherits a responsibility from her mother when her mother passes away to sing the song that keeps the stars alight in the sky. And she has run away from home and abandoned her duties when she discovers her mother's death. And so now returns desiring to learn it again, but must figure it out from scratch because she doesn't have access to her mother anymore. And so she tries to recreate it through memory. She goes to these different spaces she goes to memory and then rage and then loneliness and death before she finally figures out how to make it work. So, and there's a lot about stars in there. So I had noticed working on the third book manuscript that I kept turning to thinking about stars in different ways and the night sky. And so I kept trying to write directly to that. And then I kept getting frustrated and not making any progress. Or I thought, I need to do more like reading into cosmology and astronomy and sort of like history of the universe type stuff. And as well as sort of astronomical like physics and things like that. And so I read a bunch of stuff about that. And then I thought maybe I want to go into medieval astronomy instead, and thinking about like how people used to describe the stars and the things they saw in the heavens. I did some of that research, and then I didn't write anything. So I think I need to write some essays and then get back to writing the poetry. So not astrology, although maybe, but not really. I'm not really like into the astrology side of things. So when you stop working night shifts, you stop noticing. Yeah. So I think Yeah, I think like I notice it most if I have to make a cross-country trip somewhere and I have to travel and it gets dark enough to see the stars. Or if I'm returning in Saskatchewan, if I have to go to Saskatoon and then I'm returning from Saskatoon late at night and driving all the way through the dark to Regina. Yeah, that's when I notice the stars. So anyways, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Thanks for listening to poetry and listen to me ramble about why I name things the way I do. Let's figure out who we could go raid. I'm gonna do one. Let's see, we have made it 2 days. 2 days it is. Okay, so yep, let us figure out who we could go raid. Okay, let's see what we got here. Slid is up. Do I know anyone else here? Nebs is up. Tormuse. Let's go visit Tormuse. Let's go visit Tormuse. It's been a while. Let's get this raid going here. Yeah, I hope so too. I've got so many projects I'm supposed to finish up. I've got this really big interactive fiction game that I'm trying to finish up, and I took a big break from to work on for school instead. But I think like this summer I want to work on the game. I'm taking May and June. I'm not taking any classes at the university. I am taking 2 1-week intensive courses at another university as part of a digital humanities summer initiative or summer institute. And I think I'm going to take some other online workshops and things like that. But I'm not actually taking any formal classes from the university just because once I got into the 2 workshops, it already used up a good chunk of that term. But I am hoping to take a class in the second term of summer. So other than that, yeah, I think May, June, I might actually have more time to work on the game and maybe get that done. And I think once I clear that off my plate, I can refocus again on what I want to do for the creative art. But I could also just budget more time in my schedule, wake up earlier, not stay up so late. Okay, let's get this raid going. And we will hang out probably for a few minutes before I need to get myself ready to go to bed. Okay, so I think we're almost ready to raid. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. We will be back again tomorrow night to continue on. See you then. Thank you all. Bye.